I'm gonna school you on weed now.
Okay, I'm the weed expert over here.
I mean, can I be honest?
Be honest.
I want you to preach.
Now today, I disagree with you.
Welcome to another episode of Messy Medicine. Medicine is not perfect. We have discussions amongst ourselves, and sometimes we disagree, and we may even get into heated arguments. To my left, Dr. Chris Ibikunle. I have Dr. Jocelyn Slaughter here. And to my right, Nicholas Jones. Good to see you, buddy. And I'm Dr. Marc Jean-Gilles. Today we have a controversial topic. We're going to be talking about marijuana and its place in medicine and in society.
So I'm gonna kick it off. Marijuana, also known as Mary Jane.
Ooh.
Originally, marijuana was, in our society, growing up, looked at as something very negative. It would lead to nothing but jail for you. Well, now it's being incorporated into our medical treatment of patients.
Who's for it? Because I'm going to just come out and say it. I am for the legalization of marijuana. But Chris, you looking at me funny like you disagree, but do you have something to say? Get it off your chest.
I disagree. There's a reason why I brought this up. Now today, I disagree with you on that.
As a physician, I've had a lot of people ask me, can you prescribe me some marijuana? And my answer is no. But I do think that there is a place for it.
So you're for it?
I am for it in moderation.
All right, what about you, Nick?
I am for it.
All right.
I think it needs to be legalized.
I feel like a minority in this show.
When it comes to marijuana in this country, we just don't have enough research on it. So we can't conclude anything. What we do have is what's called anecdotal evidence. And we can't dismiss that either. I mean, for crying out loud, we have medications like Sativex that's derived from cannabis to help patients increase their appetite. There are also smaller studies that show the benefits in certain epileptic disorders. There was this one case of a young girl named Charlotte. Standard medications didn't work and she was just having these seizures around the clock. Well, then they gave her some cannabis and it controlled her seizures much better, to the point they named the strain after her. It's called Charlotte's Web. And there's too much anecdotal evidence out there that suggests that this is beneficial. So I think it's at this point incumbent on us as a society and in the medical field to at least adequately assess this.
I have significant concern about how do we arrive at evidence. If we're trying to push this as a newfound solution, a panacea for every single problem, we need to find out whether it works or not. See, my problem with this is it's still a gateway drug. The FDA
Here we go.
agrees to it. It's
There
a
we
Schedule
go.
1 drug, which makes it impossible for us to use it in experimentation. THC, or marijuana, is in the same category as LSD. So we cannot study it. There's no evidence of a big scale benefit. I am not saying I'm not going to give this a chance. There's a reason why 33 states in the United States have in some way or form has legalized marijuana. I think there's an exuberance of enthusiasm about this. I think everybody's thinking this is the solution to make money, to solve all the problems, Alzheimer's there, anorexia there, food disorder, anxiety. Let's tread carefully.
The biggest thing you hear with marijuana is you're killing your brain cells. So there's no in-depth studies to show that marijuana actually damages brain cells. There was a 2012 study it's by the University of the Royal College of London, and I'm gonna just summarize it. What they found was if you started marijuana use at an adolescent age, yes, there was decrease in IQ compared to those who didn't. But after age 25, there's no change in IQ. So you can always make the justification for an age limit at what point you can use marijuana. We do that with alcohol. That's all I'm saying. You know, it's not conclusive that it damages.
Okay, but here's a quick question. Since you're so pro marijuana, if your patient comes in with nausea and vomiting and they're 10 weeks pregnant and they swear that they need to smoke weed to eat, they can't do Zofran, Phenergan, nothing, will you let them smoke weed?
Well, I can't let them because currently in our state, you know, the actual flower is illegal. But, you know, I'm not going to be judgmental. You know, I'm not going to try and enforce them not to, because I do think, so here's the thing, right? let's talk about.
You're backtracking.
No. We're just going. I'm gonna school you on weed now.
Okay. Weed expert over here.
No. It's a science to it. So
okay.
There's two main components, right? It's CBD and THC. THC is the psychoactive component. Again, that's what makes them high, that makes them trip, that makes them giddy, happy, and so forth, right? And then CBD also has the medical benefits, such as helping with nausea, vomiting, and so forth. Now, in the state of Georgia, there are options, and they can go to a store and buy it. CBD oils, they're for sale. I'm just saying that as a scientist, as a doctor, it's worth looking at because of all the evidence that we have. Also, just from a common sense point of view, if you have alcohol that's legal, if you have Percocet, if you have tobacco products that are all legal, and we know the damage that it can cause, you should be able to legalize marijuana. Otherwise, to me, it's hypocritical for the government to do so.
Why do you all think that our federal government will not legalize marijuana, or has not?
I think it's just a matter of time before it is federally legal.
Okay. I agree with that. Eventually, I think the federal government will also allow it.
Right.
I love how Marc broke it down into CBD and THC. I can sense there is significant benefit from CBD from a medical standpoint.
But here's the weird part. There's the flower, which is what people call buds, right? You know, where they roll up a joint and smoke it. That's illegal. Now, THC just became legal in Georgia, but only through prescription. But THC oil. You have CBD that's legal and THC that's legal in some form.
Oil.
My point is, what's the big deal? You might as well just...
It's the government. They want.
Yeah.
I think they want ultimate control.
Well,
it doesn't. It makes no sense.
Is it control though, Nick, or is it regulation?
It could be a little bit of both.
It's the same thing. Potato.
Just like in the state, if you're not 21 years old, you cannot get alcohol.
Right.
We don't have regulations on THC and CBD on that. Like, why can't we just open this door slowly, get to know this?
We already know
Get
it.
to know it.
People have
other
been
states-
using marijuana
It's
forever.
for years, for
And then
millennia.
There are places where drug users are supplied with needles so that they don't use dirty needles to inject themselves.
So if you're going to use drugs, be
Right.
clean and safe about it. Here's
right.
a needle.
So
Okay.
I don't understand why
I
it's
agree.
such a big issue of legalizing marijuana. I've smoked weed before. I've tried the edibles before. I don't think it has had any negative,
I like your honesty.
negative impact on
Everybody
me.
come.
As a matter of fact, I mean, can I be honest?
Be honest.
I want you to preach. Go
I'm
ahead.
telling you,
Tell me what you did.
I had one of them edible joints, and I turned into a porn star.
Okay, well,
All right. See,
let's
For the audience, Dr. Nick,
to you.
what he's trying to say is,
it made him feel good.
it made him feel
Yeah.
good. It's still not legal, and Dr. Nick is not endorsing the use of
I'm
marijuana.
not.
No, we don't.
But what
Now,
I
tell
am,
us more about your porn
what I
career.
am endorsing
thought he was
is
a
if
porn.
Yeah.
we need to make it a safe haven for people to use marijuana in all its forms.
Here's one thing though. When I went to college, I went to Howard University. There were people that you knew who were weed smokers. And you would walk by their door and you could smell it. And you're like, oh God, I hate the smell of marijuana smoke.
There's other options.
There's other options. There's edible options.
Edibles to me they can be stronger, and then there's issues with children ingesting them because they look like brownies, they look like cookies.
Well, you know what I'll say to that is that
You have lots of kids, 4 kids.
I have 4 kids, but I think a lot of Americans have kids and they always have alcohol in the house. It's the same principle.
Same principle.
So you just got to be
My parents
responsible. You know, if you're going to have alcohol in the house, make sure it's locked up and kept safe.
It's just a weird thing to legalize. I cannot imagine myself walking down the street, going to the park with my daughter, and like somebody's over there smoking marijuana.
They have smoking regulation laws as well,
Right.
right? You can't smoke in certain places. You can't
Right.
smoke in a restaurant.
So basically, y'all just want to smoke at home.
How about?
Yeah, well, that'd be fine if they could. Yeah.
Do you go out? Do you have a drink occasionally?
Correct, but nobody knows if I've had a drink
Right,
because
but
it's
how about-
in my glass, and
Right.
I could be drinking cranberry and
Right.
apple juice. I would not be in favor of just free people. I don't like the smell of that smoke. I can't take it.
I do want to learn more about this and learn more about the benefits while we're putting restraints on the negative aspect of it. I think it makes sense for us to study it more.
Look, marijuana has been here for millennia. Some people hail it as a miracle drug. Others hail it as debauchery and a gateway to all sorts of other drugs. The truth is, the science is inconclusive. We just don't have enough studies. But what we do know is that marijuana seems to be here to stay, and we'll see where it goes. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Messy Medicine. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions about today's topic or any other topics you want us to discuss, leave the suggestions in the comments below. We'll see you next time.